In 2014, a taxi carried a lone passenger, Adeline Bowman, also known as Jennifer Larson, through San Francisco's Chinatown. As she navigated the winding streets, Adeline made an unexpected stop at a stranger's residence. With a practiced ease, she acquired a new passport, complete with a fictitious name and date of birth, in exchange for a generous sum of money. Before departing, Adeline offered the young man a sage warning. "Don't waste your potential here. If the police catch you, you'll face severe punishment and fines." With those words, Adeline vanished into the night, leaving the stranger to ponder her cryptic advice. Adeline entered her room, gently caressing her dog before bidding farewell. She then left the house, taking a taxi to a local archive library. Upon arrival, Adeline discovered old tapes and began watching. Footage dated back to 1906, stirring memories of her past. Born on January 1, 1908, at 12:01 a.m. at Children's Hospital in San Francisco, Adeline's life had been a remarkable journey. In 1929, the Golden Gate Bridge was completed, and Adeline met the chief engineer, falling deeply in love. Just 87 days later, they married at San Francisco's Cathedral Church. 3 years passed. Adeline gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, naming her Fleming. Tragedy struck in February 1937, when 8 workers and 2 engineers, including Adeline's husband, lost their lives during a safety inspection on the bridge. 10 months later, Adeline traveled north to visit her parents and Fleming. However, her journey was cut short. Unusually heavy snowfall made the roads treacherous, and Adeline lost control of the car. The vehicle plunged into a lake, and Adeline was submerged. After 2 minutes, her heart stopped beating. In a bizarre twist of fate, a lightning bolt struck the lake, revitalizing Adeline's body. Her heart began beating once more. This extraordinary event triggered a miraculous transformation. Adeline became immune to time, forever frozen at 29 years old. As the years passed, Adeline adapted by changing her location, appearance, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle through diet and exercise. This allowed her to preserve her youthful look. Whenever Adeline and her daughter Fleming walked together, people would often remark, "You two look like sisters, not mother and daughter." Adeline managed to navigate these encounters with poise, always staying one step ahead. To keep her secret safe, Adeline would relocate at the slightest hint of suspicion, whether from the police, relatives, or curious strangers. She became adept at evading detection. In her spare moments, Adeline devoted herself to researching her mysterious condition. Despite 10 years of intense study, she found no scientific explanation for her timeless existence. One fateful day, Adeline narrowly escaped detection by 2 police officers. Shaken, she reunited with Fleming and handed her a cherished wedding ring. "If anyone asks, tell them I'm on vacation and won't be returning," Adeline instructed, voice laced with concern. With a heavy heart, Adeline departed, prioritizing her daughter's safety above all else. Throughout the decades, Adeline continued to reinvent herself, changing her name, relocating to new residences, altering her appearance. Her silence was a shield, protecting her secret from the world. Another day at the hotel, Adeline met Ellis, and they introduced themselves. Ellis was immediately drawn to Adeline, but she remained aloof. Later, Adeline met her daughter, Fleming, at a restaurant. The contrast between them was striking. Fleming, now an elderly woman, while Adeline looked youthful as ever. Ellis, intrigued by Adeline, discovered her workplace at the library and presented her with some books. He asked to take a photo with her, but Adeline declined, guarding her secret. Her refusal annoyed Ellis, but he persisted. "Would you like to go out somewhere tomorrow?" Ellis asked. Adeline hesitated before finally agreeing. The next day, they strolled through the city, with Ellis inviting her to lunch. Adeline declined, but Ellis proposed a challenge. "I'll tell you a joke. If you laugh, you must join me for dinner. If not, I'll give up." Ellis shared the joke, and Adeline couldn't help but laugh. "That's the worst joke I've ever heard in my entire life," she exclaimed. Ellis beamed, having won the challenge. "I guess I won," Ellis said, thrilled. "You owe me dinner." Adeline smiled, her defenses slowly crumbling. The next day, Adeline visited Ellis's place, where he was cooking a special dinner while listening to music. They shared a delightful evening, savoring the food and each other's company. As they dined, Ellis opened up about his family and asked Adeline about hers. However, she politely declined to share, saying, "Let's just enjoy the moment." The following morning, Ellis struggled to communicate with a Portuguese client while negotiating a property deal. Unbeknownst to him, Adeline overheard the conversation and intervened, speaking fluent Portuguese. She effortlessly sealed the deal and left. Ellis was stunned. Meanwhile, Adeline rushed home to find her beloved dog gravely ill. At the animal hospital, the doctor delivered devastating news. Her dog's time was running out. Adeline requested a peaceful, painless end for her pet. As the dog passed away, Adeline was overcome with grief, tears streaming down her face. In her 108 years, Adeline had always found companionship in her dogs, never truly feeling lonely. Her dog's passing hit her hard. As she struggled to cope, Ellis appeared outside her house, having obtained her address from the library. "How did you find my address?" Adeline asked, her voice laced with anger. "I got it from the library," Ellis replied. "This is exactly why I didn't want to share my address. It's not safe for us. We should end this relationship now." With that, Adeline walked away, leaving Ellis feeling upset and heartbroken. At Fleming's house, Adeline and her daughter browsed through an old photo album. Adeline's eyes welled up with emotion. "You're so lucky," Adeline said, voice trembling. "You've had a good life, not like mine." Fleming sensed her mother's pain and asked, "What's wrong, Mother? What happened?" Adeline confided, "I'm tired of running, tired of lying to good people. I've been alone for so long." Fleming offered words of encouragement. "You don't have to run anymore, Mother. No one's chasing you. Find someone to love and you won't have to be alone forever." Adeline's eyes filled with tears. "My wish is to love someone and grow old with them, but it's impossible. Until my condition changes, it'll only end in heartbreak." For the first time, Adeline revealed to Fleming, "I met someone, fell in love, and ended it because of my secret. I regret my decision." Fleming's expression changed from concern to surprise. "You should apologize to him, Mother." With Fleming's persuasion, Adeline decided to reach out to Ellis. At Ellis's workplace, Adeline found him absent, but a colleague offered to call him. "Ellis, a woman is here to see you," colleague said. Adeline took the phone and apologized, her voice laced with emotion. "I was sad and broken. Can we start anew? I want to take you somewhere you've never been before." Ellis agreed, and Adeline's heart skipped a beat. The next day, Ellis and Adeline visited an old garage-turned-landmark. Ellis's curiosity was piqued. "What is this place?" Ellis asked. Adeline smiled. "This was once a popular picture house in the city, built by Mary Elizabeth Woods in the 1930s. Inspired by a drive-in theater in Camden, New Jersey, she created this unique space despite everyone thinking she was crazy, including her husband." Adeline continued, "Mary's vision paid off. She bought old cars, and people could sit in them, enjoying movies freely." As they stepped inside, Adeline highlighted the best part. "Watch what happens when they turn off the lights and switch on the ceiling lights." The theater's roof transformed into a star-filled sky, mesmerizing Ellis. "Wow, it's breathtaking," Ellis exclaimed. As they sat in a vintage car, sipping wine and discussing their future, Ellis invited Adeline to his parents' 40th wedding anniversary party. "Come meet my family next weekend," Ellis said. Adeline accepted, and when Ellis asked how she'd like to travel, she offered to drive. "That's perfect," Ellis replied, delighted. As they journeyed to Ellis's home, Adeline drove swiftly, leaving Ellis nervous. "Please stop the car," Ellis requested, spotting a woman walking along the road. "Pick her up, she's my sister." Adeline hesitated but eventually pulled over. Ellis introduced his sister to Adeline, and they continued their trip. Upon arrival, Ellis's parents eagerly awaited their son's return, discussing Adeline. "She's pretty and works at the library," Ellis's mother said. "She seems to like silence." "Just what Ellis needs," his father replied. "They should be here by now." "What's causing the delay?" Ellis's mother decided to check on them while his father prepared the dinner table. Finally they arrived, and Ellis's mother warmly welcomed Adeline. As Ellis introduced Adeline to his father, William, their eyes locked in surprise. "Adeline, is that you?" William exclaimed. Adeline swiftly concealed her astonishment. "No, I'm Jenny, not Adeline." William apologized. "You resemble an old friend, Adeline Bowman. I'm shocked." Adeline revealed, "That was my mother." The family's surprise turned to astonishment. William marveled. Uncanny resemblance. I knew your mother in London in the 1960s. Adeline's eyes sparkled. Yes, she lived there before moving to San Francisco and meeting my father. Ellis's mother inquired, You never mentioned this friend, dear. William asked Adeline, How is your mother doing? Adeline's expression turned somber. She passed away 6 years ago. As the family retired for the night, William remained lost in thought, reminiscing about Adeline and their past connection. In a flashback, William pedaled his bicycle down a winding road when he came across Adeline's stranded car. He offered to help, and together they managed to get it started. Grateful, Adeline accepted William's company and they spent the next 5 weeks together. It wasn't until their 5th week that William asked her name. I'm Adeline Bowman, she replied with a smile. My friends call me Della. 3 weeks later, William completed his semester abroad and prepared to return to the United States. Adeline joined him, and they continued to cherish their time together. Back in the present, William sipped coffee with Ellis. Sorry about last night, son, William said. I didn't mean to embarrass you. Ellis's mother inquired. How did you meet Adeline? Ellis recounted their story and his mother turned to William. And how did you meet Adeline, dear? William's eyes misted as he began. We met in London. I was immediately drawn to her. We were inseparable, but... William's voice trailed off as he glanced at his wife, whose expression hinted at jealousy. One evening, the family gathered for a question-and-answer game. William, notoriously unbeatable, faced unexpected competition from Adeline. Despite the challenging questions, Adeline answered with ease, leaving everyone stunned, especially William. Ellis joked, Dad, your winning streak is about to end. His sister chimed in, If Dad loses, Della will finally appear. Adeline's eyes widened in surprise. What's Della? She asked. William smiled wistfully. It's a comet I discovered and named Della C in 1981. The game continued, with Adeline answering every question correctly. Finally, William conceded defeat, and his children teased him. As the family laughter subsided, William and Adeline stepped aside. Adeline's curiosity got the better of her. Why did you name the comet after my mother? William's eyes misted. I was going to propose to her, but I nearly missed my chance. I had the engagement ring in my pocket. Adeline's voice barely above a whisper. She loved you too, William. William's eyes locked onto Adeline's, a deep connection sparking between them. The next day, William was engrossed in his work when Adeline approached. As they chatted, William noticed a bug lodged in her hair. Adeline casually removed it with her left hand. William's gaze fell upon a familiar scar on her hand, and his mind began to reel. He recalled a similar scar from their past outing to the forest, where Adeline's hand had fallen on a tree, injuring her. William had administered first aid and stitched the wound himself. Intrigued, William rushed to his old garage, rummaging through memories. He uncovered an old photograph. A picture of them together, taken shortly after Adeline's injury. Stunned, William's eyes fixed on the image, his mind racing with questions. How was this possible? Was this really the same Adeline from his past? William's thoughts swirled in confusion, an overwhelming desire to uncover the truth about Adeline. William pursued Adeline, his voice urgent. I know who you are, Adeline. This scar, the same one I stitched myself. Please tell me the truth. Adeline's attempts to hide were futile. Overwhelmed, she revealed her secrets, and then hastily gathered her belongings and fled. William tried to stop her, but she was gone. Ellis noticed Adeline's sudden departure and questioned his father. What happened, Dad? William's expression turned somber. She's gone, son. She's not capable of change. Perplexed, Ellis took his father's car and chased after Adeline. Adeline drove recklessly, losing control and crashing. Snow began to fall, eerily reminiscent of the accident that had frozen her age decades ago. Ellis found Adeline in critical condition, her heart still. Despite attempting first aid, he couldn't revive her. At 107 years old, Adeline's heart had stopped beating. Just as all hope seemed lost, paramedics arrived. A nurse applied defibrillator paddles to Adeline's chest, counting to 5 before administering 750 joules of electricity. Miraculously, Adeline's eyes flickered open. Ellis's relief was palpable. Admitted to the hospital, doctors reassured Ellis that Adeline's injuries were minor. Ellis grasped Adeline's hand, his voice filled with emotion. I told you last night, Adeline, I love you. I'll never leave you. Adeline's gaze met Ellis's, and she realized her feelings. She accepted him, and their love blossomed. With Ellis by her side, Adeline revealed her lifelong secrets, finally free from the burden of her mysterious past. Adeline's daughter, Fleming, arrived at the hospital, and Adeline introduced her to Ellis. Fleming introduced herself as Jenny's grandmother, unaware of the dramatic turn of events. Adeline reassured Fleming, "He knows everything." Fleming's expression transformed from curiosity to joy, and she became emotional. The family gathered at William's house to celebrate his wedding anniversary. William shared heartfelt stories and cherished memories, creating one of the movie's most poignant moments. Adeline and Ellis decided to tie the knot and began preparing for their wedding. As Adeline gazed into the mirror, she noticed a silver strand amidst her hair. The realization dawned. The last accident had reversed her condition, restoring her natural aging process. Overjoyed, Adeline smiled, embracing her newfound mortality.